Good morning. In this week's Sidra of Emor, we focus quite strongly on the Kohanim and various details relating to their service in the Beit HaMikdash. And one of the points that the Sidra goes into that I want to focus on is the restriction against a Kohen Baal Mum, a Kohen who has some kind of physical blemish or imperfection, and there's a list of what is excluded from being part of the temple service. And why is it that a Kohen who is spiritually perfect, whose heart is whole with Hashem, who is sincere and good, should be told that he can't serve in the Beit HaMikdash because of some kind of physical defect? That sounds unjust, that sounds not right. Surely Hashem, who is perfect and compassionate, would not impose a restriction or a fine or a punishment upon such a person. So there are many answers, of course, but I'd like to share two of them with you. The first one is from Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, that he says you need to understand that what we are trying to achieve here with the Beit HaMikdash is bigger than any one individual. The Kohen represents the symbol of service of Hashem, of devoting yourself and your life to God and everything that Hashem stands for. Now he says that can mean a couple of things. We can have the idea that for those who can't do anything else, then there's service of Hashem in the Beit HaMikdash. For those who cannot succeed in regular life, okay, so have religion. There's the old canard that they say about teachers, those who can do, those who can't teach. And we wouldn't want that kind of atmosphere to be created around the Beit HaMikdash. If you can go out and be really successful in business, then that's real life. You can't do that? Okay, so the shul's not a bad place. That's not the idea. The Beit HaMikdash service of Hashem is the ultimate in human perfection. It's the greatest level we can reach, and it's the level we should constantly be striving towards. It is the epitome. It is the pinnacle. It's the ultimate. And that has to be reflected in everything that's done. And so if we get a Kohen who is physically imperfect, that doesn't contribute towards the message, the overwhelming message that we're trying to send. And so what we need to say is we need people who are not just physically perfect, but not just spiritually perfect, but physically perfect. We need people who represent to all who encounter them that the service of Hashem is something to be strived for on the highest levels, not a concession. The truth is, it has impact on this individual Kohen. This individual Kohen is a good and sincere, wonderful person who wants to serve. He can't. It's sad for him. I will say, he's no worse off than 99% of the Jewish people who are not Kohanim. But, except in his family, maybe his brothers are serving. It's not nice. But there's a bigger picture here than the individual. That's the first point of Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch. The Meshech Chochmah Rabbi Meir Simcha Devinsk gives a different reason which focuses much more on the individual. He says that Hashem needs that the Kohanim are, as we say, spiritually perfect, sincere, devout, holy people coming to do the service in the Beit HaMikdash. However, he says, it is entirely possible, in fact likely, that once in a while you'll have a Kohen whose heart is not whole with Hashem, who's not such a good, committed, wonderful, holy person. So how's Hashem going to do it? Do we have a prophet appointed who's going to stand there saying, this one's good, this one's no good? That's not nice. That's not nice. That's not the way to do it. What he says is, Hashem devised a system whereby people who had lack of purity in their hearts, this would manifest somewhere in their external appearance. Somebody who was not complete with Hashem inside would be seen to be not complete outside. So hold your horses, you'll say to me, so that means that everybody who has this physical impurity or imperfection, no. He says, there are plenty people who are wonderful, good, holy people who also have this. Why? Because Hashem does not want to single anybody out. Hashem does not want it to be that this gives away that this is not a good person. We'll have good people who are not physically perfect. We'll have not such good people who are not physically perfect. And then you don't humiliate those who you are singling out. Everyone just knows, okay, this is part of the criteria. Very interesting idea, similar to what we have when the Jewish people go to war. There are a number of people who step out of the front line. So it says somebody who's just gotten married, somebody who's just built a house, somebody who's afraid. Some of the commentaries say the only people we want out of the army are those who are afraid. but we give the others an out as well, so that nobody will know who's leaving because they're afraid and who's leaving for other reasons. It's the same kind of idea here. So we have Rabbi Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, that the service of Hashem is the ultimate of human perfection. We have Rabbi Meir Simcha of Dvinsk, that the service of Hashem needs a pure heart, and that's reflected often in the pure body.